Hello and welcome to another video. So I'm doing something slightly different with this video. I hope you're aware of it. So this is preparation for the GCSE maths, and I'm doing a breakfast warm-up here. This isn't to replace any face-to-face time you might get with a maths teacher. This is more for students that don't have that opportunity. And today we're doing a warm-up for paper one, and I'm going to be doing a higher version. So I put these together earlier this week just to get my students ready ahead of the morning of their exams, and I've decided to make it into a video. So attached to the description to this video, you'll find a link where you can download a copy of it if you want to, and we'll work through each of the 20 questions. If you find this video useful, please do subscribe if you like. And as soon as you've sat your paper, I will be putting together an analysis ready for a predicted topic paper for paper 2. So if you've subscribed, you'll get notification as soon as that comes out. Okay, so here's the whole sheet. If we zoom in on question 1, get it a bit clearer on the screen. So question 1, express 0.88 as a fraction in its simplest form. So the way I'm going to view this is view it as 88 hundredths. So let me just get my writing nice and thin. So I'm going to view it as 88 out of 100. And then both those numbers have a 4 in common. So if I divide 88 by 4, I'd get 22. And if I divide 100 by 4, I'd get 25. So I'm going to say it's 22 out of 25. Question 2, write 0.47 reoccurring as a fraction in its simplest form. So I'm going to say that x is equal to 0.47 reoccurring. I'm going to times that value by 10. Reason being is that will get my decimal patterns overlapping. So that would be 4.77 reoccurring. And then I'm going to subtract 1 from the other. So I'm going to do 10x take away 1x is 9x. And then this value take away this value would give us 7 reoccurrings will cancel. That's the whole point of this. 7 take away 4 would give us 3. And then 4 take away 0 would be 4. So we're looking at 4.3. So if I divide both sides by x, then that says that x then would be 4.3 over 9. So technically speaking, that's not a fraction though. We shouldn't really have a decimal within it as a numerator of a fraction. So I'm going to times both by 10 and say that's going to be the same as 43 over 90. And that's as simple as it can go. So 43 over 90. Right, question 3. Simplify 8/15 plus 4/9. So to do this, I'm going to put them over the same denominator. So I'm looking for the lowest common multiple of 15 and 9, which is going to be 45. If you've not spotted that and you've done 9 times 5, that's okay. You just need to simplify at the end. So to do that, I times the first fraction by 3, so that's going to give me 24. And then I've times the second fraction by 5, so that would give me 20. Then if I add those two together, then 24 plus 20 would be 44 out of 45. Question 4, write 270 as a product of its prime factors. So whenever I'm doing products of prime factors, what I like to do is take off the lowest factor first of all. Well, the lowest prime number that's a factor. So I'm going to call it 2 and 360, which is 2 and 180, which is 2 and 90, which is 2 and 45. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to bring 45 up here. So 45 is 3 and 15, which is 3 and 5. And then I've got prime numbers as all of my bases to my branches. So if I want to write that fully down, then I've got 1, 2, 3 2's. So that's 2 to the power of 3 times, but yeah, I've got an extra one there, 4, 2 to the power of 4. Times by, I've got 2 3's, so 3 squared, times by 5. Question 5, rationalize 6 over root 10. So to do that, I'm going to times through by root 10 over root 10. Right, so my numerator then becomes 6 root 10. And my denominator becomes root 10 times root 10, which is just 10. And then 2 will go into both those numbers. 2 will go 3 times into 6 and 5 times into 10. So it's going to be 3 root 10 over 5. Okay, question 6. The ratio of boys to girls in a class is 5 to 7. There are 35 boys. How many girls are there? So I've put this one in because this time we're not doing the typical sharing a full amount between a ratio. We're given one of the ratios. So if I always find it useful to set it up. So boys to girls, make sure I've got that the right way around, 5 to 7. And then we want 35 boys, so we've got 35 boys. So we want to work out the number of girls. So to get from this ratio to this ratio, I need to times by 7. So I need to do the same on the other side. So that's going to give me 49 girls. Right, question 7. Increase 240 by 35%. So we could absolutely do 240 times by, if I want to increase by 35%, that's a multiplier of 1.35. And that would be absolutely fine if you're fairly confident and fairly happy with your long multiplication. Alternatively, I'm going to break it down and then build it back up. So if I say, let me write that the other way around. So if I say that 100% of the number is 240, and I want to break it down to 35% in effect, I'm going to say I can find 50% by halving it. So 50% would be 120. 25% would be half of that then, so that would be 60. So I need to add 10% to that. So if I say 10% is found by just 240 divided by 10, so 24. So if I want 135%, I need to add, so I want 135%, because that would be the increase. I want to add these three numbers together. So that's going to be 4, 12, so 324. Right, question 8. A car depreciates by 10% per year. If it was worth £15,000, how much would it be worth after 2 years? So I put this in just because it's an example of a compound interest question. However, it's going to be on a non-calc, so we're going to have to work this out separately. If it was a calculator paper, it would be 150,000 times by times by 0.9, because we're depreciating by 10%, so 90% squared. So we could do that calculation. We could say that 0.9 squared is the same as 0.9 times 0.9, so it's going to be 0.81, and we could do 15,000 times by 0.81. I'm going to do it in 2 steps though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if it starts out as 150,000, sorry, 15,000, 10% of that would be 1,500. So if I subtract that, that would give me 0,0531. And then so that would be the end of the first year. And then if I do that for the second year, the exact same process really, 13,500. And then 10% then would be 1350. And then if I subtract those, 4 take away 3 is 1, 2 take away 3 take away 1 is 2. So I make it £12,150. Question 9. If x is proportional to y cubed and x is 24 when y is 2, find x when y is equal to 5. So I'll tell it you straight. I'm going to do this with two methods, particularly on a non-calc. I find it useful to do it with two methods, just to confirm your answer. So we've actually got the ratio. So I'm going to use the ratio method first of all. So we've actually got x being proportional to y cubed. So when x is 24, y was 2, so that would be 8. And I want to find x when y is 5, so y cubed would be 125. So I want to build this up to 125. The way I'm going to do it is the ratio 24 to 8 is the same as the ratio 3 to 1. So I want to times by 125 there. So 3 times by 125 would give me 375. Right, so that's the ratio method for that. I'm also going to do it with the traditional equation of proportionality. So x is equal to ky cubed. So when x is 24, y is 3, so that would be k times by 8, which means that k is going to be equal to 3. So my actual equation is going to be then x is equal to 3 times by, or let's just say 3y cubed. So that leads to then x is going to be equal to 3 times by 5 cubed, which is 125, which will give you the same answer, 375. So either way, we get 375, and you can actually see it's quite nice to do those side by side because you can actually see the calculation steps are the same. So we get the 3 here is the value for k, and we've worked it through and we've done the calculation of 3 times by 125, which is what we did here. Okay, question 10. A recipe needs 500 grams of flour for 8 servings. How much flour is required for 12 servings? So again, I'm a big fan of the ratio method, so I'm going to kind of stick with it for this. So I'm going to say that 8 batches requires 500 grams of flour. I want to build that up to 12. And there's nothing wrong with if you can spot that it's 1.5. But the way I'm going to do it is 8's not a multiple of 12. So what I'm going to do is break it down to 4 first of all. So 4 would require half of that, so 250 grams. And then if I want to go to 12, I'm timesing by 3. So 250 times by 3 would be 750 grams. Right, question 11 then. Moving on to a bit of algebra. So solve 5x minus 12 is greater than 3x plus 8. So first thing, either with solving equations with unknowns on both sides or inequalities, is which side has got the larger number of x's, just to avoid having to do anything with negatives. So the left-hand side has, so I'm going to start by minusing 3x from both sides. That would give me then 2x minus 12 is greater than 8. Second step, then I want to get rid of the minus 12, so I'm going to add 12 on both sides. So that gives me 2x is greater than 20. And then finally, if I divide both sides by 2, I get x is greater than 10. Okay, question 12, expand and simplify. So I'm going to expand first of all, then I'll simplify rather than trying to do it in one step. So 3x times by x would give us 3x squared. 3x times by 5 would give us 15x. Minus 4 times by x would give us minus 4x. And then minus 4 times by 5 would give us minus 20. So that's the expand part. This would normally be a 2-mark question. If you've expanded it, that will get you 1 mark. And the second mark is for simplifying. Our middle two terms can be collected. So 3x plus 11x, sorry, 3x squared plus 11x minus 20. If you've got an early version of this breakfast mat, I'd made a mistake here, so I've just gone and changed that. I've uploaded the more recent view, so it should say x cubed minus 16x. So apologies if you got the early version. Feel free to change it. Right, so for this one, I'm going to start by factorizing. So I'm going to take, I'm going to start by taking a common term out. So both these numbers can actually be multiplied by 4x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taking a 4x outside. And let's just tidy my pen up, get it nice and thin again. So I'm going to start by taking 4x out as a common factor. So if I take 4x out as a common factor, that leaves me with x squared minus 4. And then we should be fairly good at spotting this is called a difference of two squares. So what I can say is that 4x times by x plus 2 times by x minus 2. There we go. Apologies if you got the early version of that. Obviously, I put this together fairly quickly, and I hadn't fully QA'd that beforehand. Question 14. The nth term of a sequence is 5n squared minus 3n plus 2. Find the sixth term. So we're going to substitute n for 6. So n is going to be equal to 6. So that's going to become 5 times by 6 squared minus 3 times by 6 plus 2. So 6 squared is 36, so 5 times 36, and I've lost my 6 digit there, minus, we'll keep it as 3 times 6 for now, plus 2, so I've just dealt with the indices there. I'm then going to do my 2 multiplications for my next step, so 5 times by 36 is going to be 180, 3 times by 6 is going to be 18, and then plus 2. Then I do my addition and subtraction in the order that they appear. So I'm going to do 180 take away 18 next. So 180 take away 18 is going to be 162. Plus 2 is going to give me 164. Okay, question 15. Solve 3x squared minus 14x minus 5 is equal to 0. So that's going to go into 2 brackets. We start by factorizing. So to make a 3x squared, we must have a 3x and an x. And then to make a minus 5, or to make a 5, I need to multiply 5 by 1, but one of them is going to be negative. And then to make minus 15, it's going to be 3 times by minus 5 plus 1. So that's my factorized version. Now, if two things multiply to make 0, one of them must be 0. So either this is equal to 0 or this bracket is equal to 0. Now, the easiest one to do is this one, but I'm going to kind of do this one first because I like to put them in size order. So to make that bracket 0, x must be equal to minus a third. And to make that bracket 0, x would need to be equal to 5. So there's my 2, so 5. 5. So there's my 2 solutions. Right. Question 16 then. A triangle has angles of 72 and 41. Find the third angle. So I'm going to add them together first of all. So we know that 2 of the angles add up to 72 plus 41. So that's going to be equal to 113. And then angle sum of a triangle is 180. So I'm going to do, get my pen to work. So I'm going to do 180 minus 113. That's going to give me 67.